noon tonight, some big-time concerns about a manufacturing plant in Lowell.
Neighbors report plastic particles flying through the air and into their backyards, and regulators are now getting involved.
5 News reporter Catherine Gilker spoke to a mom concerned about the air her family is breathing.
I don't want, our time to be, cut short due to any sort of health impact that it might have on us.
Marielle Kalos, her husband, and 2 young children moved into their Lowell home in January. When they purchased the house, they were under the impression the factory on the other side of their backyard was relocating. They later found out that wasn't the case.
Pretty soon after we moved in, we started noticing the really intense smell of burning plastic. And when we were playing outside, every time we'd come outside, there was just this white coating, this white dust coating our swing set and our slide.
Moisture Shield produces a reclaimed material from plastic film and bags. The material is melted to make pellets that are used at another one of their factories. Kalos says she was seeing dust at first, but later found out it was actually plastic particles coming from the factory.
We have this beautiful backyard that we can't use most of the day because our health is at risk by breathing in these particles. We don't know what kind of health impact that will have on us.
When it rains, plastic pieces also wash into their yard. Kalos has reached out to Moisture Shield on multiple occasions, but says she hasn't heard back. She's also been in contact with the State Division of Environmental Quality and the City of Lowell. She says both have been very helpful. Paul Polero is the Code Enforcement and Building Inspection Officer for the City of Lowell. He says the city first started receiving calls back in March about plastic bags flying through the air and about how unsightly the conditions were on the property.
I went out and was able to see the plastic bags leaving the property, so I issued citations for that and for the unsightly conditions. Since then, they're working with us to get that taken care of.
Then he received complaints about plastic particles or dust leaving the factory's property and ending up on neighboring property. Polero says he contacted state regulators and the factory has been proactive in making some changes.
I believe they're talking about building a pad and a fencing to hold their product to keep it from flying around. I know they've cleaned the place. They brought a company in and did quite a bit of cleaning.
The Arkansas Division of Environmental Quality has received 3 complaints about the factory, and an air compliance inspector visits the property regularly. This picture taken by the inspector shows plastic particles accumulated on the ground below one of the factory's vents. He also found totes of fluff and spilled material on the ground, which according to an inspection report could become airborne. Kalos says she wants the factory shut down because it's an environmental health hazard to her neighborhood.
It's disheartening because we spent so much money on this house and we're under the impression that they were gonna leave, and we had no idea that they were doing any sort of hazardous work behind us. And had we known, we probably wouldn't have bought this house.
In Lowell, covering news where you live, Catherine Gilker, 5 News.
Now, 5 News reached out to Moisture Shield multiple times for comment, but our phone calls and messages were never returned.
Well, let's take you back outside. Look at the cloud cover with the city lights illuminating those